Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2. Today we're making our first big step toward that supremacy victory we've been talking about, by potentially taking over Horatio's capital. Now, in order to actually win the supremacy victory, we have to claim the home world of each faction. Generally speaking, doing that requires that you have a fair amount of territory, but obviously, because you need, support systems, you need to build lots of ships and stuff. But once you're taking people's homeworlds, you're probably also taking the rest of their territory, so it's not terribly difficult to do. The supremacy victory is actually one of the ones that is affected the least by alliances, because it's already the case that in order to win a supremacy victory, you have to own everything. So every homeworld. So it just becomes that your alliance has to own every homeworld, which is actually zero extra effort. So this is definitely a victory type where we're going to want to be forming a large alliance. I think that the Sophons are down, right?
We like you, but that doesn't mean we're on speed dial.
Let's see. If we form an alliance with him, we'll formally declare war on the Cravers. That's not totally ideal. Yeah, we can maybe wait a minute on that. Out of curiosity, how much do these guys like us?
And contracts to take out. I mean, sign.
Did we get there? Okay, we can very much get there. Oh, except we don't actually have enough influence for this. Well, we didn't end up rebuilding our government, because I forgot. So let's do that and figure out... We're actually bringing in quite a bit of influence now. Let's figure out how much we can afford to spend here. So I do want to put System Anomaly Fertility Effects Publicity Charter, also known as the Green Fertility Bill, back on, because it's great. And then we also have access to cool copies, which is fine. A lot of our systems are actually doing really well on food. We're definitely not running lower fleet costs, because it is just straight up worse than Scrap King's, remarkably. Despite the fact that it also costs influence, this one was a quest reward, we had to work hard for it, so... I don't think any other choices are really sensible. I mean, are we making ships, though? We're in a war, but we're kind of in a research part of the war. We don't really need a lot of vessels to fight Horatio. Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna slot that either. What else could we put in? We could go for this. We're not making a lot of dust, but we also don't need a lot of dust. Yeah, let's try running this for a while. So that really didn't reduce our influence income by very much. We'll be in a much better place to make deals in a couple of turns here. So if we can get an alliance with the Lumeris, actually, one thing I did not actually check is, what is their current diplomatic status? Okay, they're at war with the Cravers too. And they're at peace with the Sophons. We could make one big happy family over here. And one thing I really like about that is that it allows us to use the Lumeris as a sort of a buffer zone against everything in the other galaxy. Everything in the other ellipsis. Ellipsis, what am I thinking? So yeah, let's get back to it here. We're working on xenoanthropology, which will allow us to fiddle with our government and also to hold more systems. We are working on taking over Galter. And I said a couple episodes ago, I think, that Chain Gang program was maybe not very attractive to us because population points are so precious. That's less true now that we've really got our food online, but what I don't know is how it decides what population to use. The thing is, most of our systems have a mix of a couple different types. If we run Chain Gang program somewhere, I don't know what it's going to take out. And there are definitely some population units that I would like to lose less than others, so let's just keep relying on food generation. It's working. It's working slowly, but it's working. Okay, we need to wait until some of our probes regenerate before we can finish searching that. And you are similarly waiting for probe generation. Okay. So we're going to end up at war with the Cravers no matter what we do, I think. Which is fine by me. Alright, let's just continue bombing the heck out of these nerds. There it is. We got the swap over. They ran out of population. A tactical surrender. Probably their best hope. Oh no! My random garbage ship is getting attacked by pirates. Why are there so many pirate systems? Well, it doesn't have the health to survive a retreat, so... yeah, have at him. Obviously, he will die horribly. It's alright. That pirate ship did one thing of value, which is all we can really ask of it. Oh yeah, that's why we don't have any influence, because Horatio keeps bleeding us out via his stupid peace demands. Alright, so we just acquired a random technology. I am not interested in reducing our cheat costs during elections, even though we have been, influencing elections lately. So what tech did we just get for free? I do wish it would just tell you. Oh. I think it was improved fleet management. I didn't research this, right? Okay, well, we've got access to some fighters and bombers now, and we're working our way toward large ships. This might be a good run to play around with the fighter and bomber systems some more. Alright, we're still doing that. I don't think there's anything else. Oh, yeah! System developments. That's right. We picked up another level of system development we should probably actually make some use of. Alright, please colonize this for me. Rossi is closing in on its population cap as well. Let's just actually take advantage of all of our planets. We're doing pretty well on population per system, I think. How are we doing empire-wide approval? Pretty good pretty much everywhere, obviously. Galter is pretty upset about all the conquering and the space bombardment and whatnot. Hold on a second. Before we go building any more Riftborn, it does look like getting to 50 here is probably pretty easy. And I might let that happen just so that we know what the law looks like, because I've never seen it before. I don't think I've ever seen any minor factions law show up. Alright, so these are the only other population type that we have that has a base industrialist political output. And also, plus 15% industry on systems with them. That would be nice to get. I wonder if we can encourage them to grow. That is a luxury resource that we do not have any natural access to. Oh, there's a fair amount on the market. Stuff's actually relatively expensive, which we can fix that by making that amount of money not such a large portion of our money. Well, we definitely don't want to build our subsidiary here. Let's make the first subsidiary on Remor. That way, at least the trade route has to run through a couple of systems. Don't worry, we'll be making plenty more of those. Galter needs to get... Boy, this is not a good system. We should send... Where are my remnants? We should send a unit of remnant population over there. Because our natural population type can't grow. So if we drop some remnants off there, the only thing that can grow there will be remnants. Okay, send these guys to Galter. Just one. Although there's actually not a lot of room for growth here either. But we should probably solve that by shipping off other stuff. Well, we'll have to do it next turn, when the spaceport is available for a different trip. Okay, what have we here? Ruins. Good enough for me. I don't know what else is around here, but there's nothing I would rather search than ruins, I think. Oof. That's a pretty bad reward. Alright, you still don't have probes. I appreciate that they're letting us look through all their stuff like this. Oh, this thing again. I feel like we see this quest an awful lot. I mean, I guess we kind of see all of the quests every game, pretty much. Oh, you have another probe. Is there another ruin to search? No, but a signal curiosity is not bad either, usually. Oh, looks like we found a population unit. Ooh, Pulsos. I like these guys a lot. Okay, so we're sort of getting our economy online. We're working on it, at least. Let's go ahead and go exoscience stations, since all of the worlds here are cold, except this one. You know, that can stay exoscience. We have enough industry. We probably don't really need to worry about strategic mining. This is worth getting. Alright, we'll figure out other stuff later. What do we build over here? So once we're no longer mutinying and there are people here, we'll have about 14 food. We have no luxury deposits. Man, it's just a bad system. I guess? Yeah. Just a bad system. Alright, what have we here? A couple of smalls and a hero ship. I do not think that Horatio's doing a very good job of attacking, like fighting back. His stuff is always like flowing in all piecemeal, and we're discovering 2 ships here and 3 ships there. This is very upsetting. It is very upsetting to me that it's even close to even. So let's see here. He is rocking medium-range energy weapons and a slightly missile-heavy command ship. Well, yeah, let's try this. I mean, I'm sure he's just going to retreat here. Yeah. Yeah, you better keep running. So we want to take Novarus and Menace. Once we've done that, I think it wouldn't be a big deal to call it off, but also I'm a little worried about how quickly his influence circles grow. So why don't we head this fleet this way? Ooh. Okay, he's bringing a little bit more to bear. Right, we'll all show up at roughly the same time here. I don't want to leave those ships hovering there by themselves with Horatio Defense Fleet showing up.
Welcome, welcome. How can the families help?
I think we're just going to go for this. Let's just lock it in while she's friendly. Doing that will probably help to bring the Sophons on side, although I bet we could just ask the Sophons and they'd go for it too. Do I want to try to get anything out of her? I guess I don't really have a lot of room to work with underneath my influence cap here. She has a lot of systems. Now let's just do this for now.
Greetings, Cubed. Dude!
Okay, so they're eager to get in on the Act 2.
Not
Just gotta make it happen.
a bargain.
The Accord of Principled Nations.
You're one of our favorite fish in this galactic sea.
Yeah, no, you can just keep focusing on the Cravers. We really don't need the help over here. Actually, they're not doing that well against the Cravers, right? We're actually going to probably have to save them. Yeah, when we get into contact with the Craver Navy, that's where things are going to get kind of real. Oh, yeah, good point, good point. Who needs the Singularity the most? We're actually doing really well in a lot of places. Well, this is where we'll be building our next wave of ships, probably, so I think that makes sense. The shipyards on the south. Okay. Well, we sure did that. Our trade routes are being blockaded. Interesting that he managed to land that attack in between the time where my ciphers arrived and the time where everything else arrived. Yeah, all right. Well, we'll just retreat. There's a neutral node nearby. Not a big deal. Horatio is counterattacking Galter. Well, we certainly can't conscript because there's no population. Okay, we did this thing. That's fine. Got our heroes leveling up. So we picked up all the food and stuff. You know, honestly, extra influence does sound pretty useful right now. Alright, we'll just tactical surrender and then we'll take it back next turn. Not really accomplishing anything. Alright, let's talk about this system upgrade. I think it is time to put one into effect, which means it's time to stop hemming and hawing on this. Let's figure out what we're going to do. So we still don't have any sources of Voidstone. We're about to pick up some Red Sang, but honestly, our food situation has gotten pretty good. We have Transvine coming in, and we're going to have more, right? No, actually. Okay, there's some down here, though. Approval's not really a problem for us right now, but it will become more of a problem as we continue to expand. So I don't think that's a bad idea. So I guess we're not going to lock in a new modernization yet because we couldn't afford to put one out anyway. But we're probably going to want it to be Transvine something, which means we need to actually get these systems. Alright, I think I will do this here. This is definitely worth having. Where is that population ship that was headed to Galter? Is that... Nope, this is moving Haroshims. I'm wondering if the population ship immediately stopped existing with our remnant on it because the destination stopped being ours, or if it would only happen when they actually arrive. Alright, the Epistis are continuing to grow, which is just fine. Okay, that got searched. Alright, I think this is our plan now. We're just gonna go and find new systems and new players to either ally with or destroy. Okay. So what was the cost of adding these guys to our alliance? 407. We'll be able to do it next turn. So we are now officially at war with the Cravers, although I don't expect it to have much of an effect on us. Not yet. Okay, so let's see. They're just small ships. They do have a hero. They've got their stuff divided up all funny, so they have 6 command points here and 2 there, which prevents them from uniting the fleets, which means that they're going to be coming at us undermanned a little bit. Also, kind of underhandedly. A lot of sneaking around going on. Okay, we can make some ships here. Well, let's make exotic rations first. we're going to need a singularity. You know, I don't think we have anything terribly important to build in the capital right now. We can take the singularity there. I guess ships. Ships would be good. Yeah, what if we make the singularity over here? So we gotta pull it out of this system, do it here. And then make me a couple of spirits. We're gonna need a couple more large, impressive ships. Populations are growing all the time. And we just hit a new tier of this stuff. So we're definitely going for large ship hulls right away. Especially since we got some fighter and bomber designs for free. We also got some extra movement points on civilian ships. And we have access to... here we go. We have access to the ability to change government types. So let's take a quick look at that. Not something I do very often. So if my goal is to increase our political party representation, it looks like democracy is the only way to go. There will be a period of anarchy, 5 turns of us not having laws, I'm guessing, is what is meant by this. And it will also cost us 500 influence. Why don't we go ahead and lock in
Greetings, Cubed.
this alliance first? Alright. That's pretty cool. As an alliance, we control the constellation. Yeah, we control this one too. Doesn't affect us, because the bonus is only for systems in that constellation. But, you know, if we were to come over here and settle Lekim or something, you know, could have an effect. Alright, I'm obviously just burning through all of these messages and stuff. We're going to handle the battles after everything else. And I don't think I actually need the help of my allies. Like, they're offering to send ships and everything, but I don't think we're in any danger. Yeah, sure, let's search the quest curiosity. Oh no, we lost our fleet. Increases religious political ideology. Well, it does say 10 turns, so actually that's going to wear off before the next election. Probably it won't be a big deal. Okay, I think we are ready to figure out these battles. So the Horatio have brought 2 of their medium vessels against us here. We're seeing... yeah, mostly energy weapons, mostly projectile defenses, which is strange, considering that our ships are all energy weapons and energy defenses. I don't really understand that. They'd like to be at medium and long range. Let's try to figure this out. So now they do have a pair of medium ships. That is a big deal. Mediums are tough. I think I'm going to switch this ship to top. We're going to have the top lane... fight at optimal distance. I guess this is better for them, isn't it? We don't really want to be at long range. Although, this ship, it only has 49 total offensive power, so maybe I don't need to worry so much about its range. I'm just thinking, I want to do this in such a way that our medium ship is likely to survive. We don't need to win the battle hugely, but I do need to not lose this whole fleet. Shield absorption will be significant for us. Yeah, alright. Let's go this way. I'm a little nervous about the outcome here. So this top flotilla, I think, is in our favor. this part's not gonna go that well, probably. Then it's just a matter of how much damage this ship will do cross flotilla there. These Horatio ships are so strange looking. Oh, it is true that our medium ship was damaged at the beginning of the battle too. That's not helpful. Let's try to get a sense of the rate of loss here. Actually, yeah, this looks pretty bad for us. We do have that second fleet, although it is about to be engaged in a combat that is rated as not super favorable. Yeah, wow, the degree to which we lost this medium versus medium battle is kind of terrifying to me. Well, we're going to lose everything here then. I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit of a surprise. Yeah, so we were rated 963 offense, 307 defense. But we lost that battle, like, massively. Just the part that was medium ship versus medium ship was a slaughter. Yeah, they must, I'm assuming that what we're seeing here with all these energy weapons, even though they know our defenses are largely energy defenses, is that they must have picked up a design for an energy weapon that's much better than the energy weapons they can build normally. Well, this is all small ships. This should go a lot more cleanly. So they'll want to be at medium range. You know, actually, the medium ships lose less from not being at the maximally effective range than our other ships do. Yeah, let's go ahead and go like this. Where's the hero? Here's in the middle. Yeah, alright. Let's see how this turns out. Clearly, they don't think it's so biased against them, or they wouldn't have engaged on us. But we are going to need, we're going to need ships soon. More ships. Okay, I'm assuming this flotilla is going to go down very quickly. They stacked the middle against us, which is not a big deal, I guess, but it is going to mean they probably don't lose the battle. They won't win it. This will probably technically be a draw, but with them having inflicted about as much damage as we did. It's going to kind of depend on the effectiveness of these ships firing at this distance. You know, we're actually getting damage in on some of these pretty fast here. Pretty quickly. So we're going to end up trading 3 smalls for most of their fleet. Maybe all of it. We might get all of it. Yeah, okay, we got them all. Well, that's certainly a much better result, although it's not actually all of them, right? Because they had this weird little extra detachment. Well, we can certainly run these guys down. Okay, that's pretty bad, actually. So we can certainly do this. Take the system back. So we can spend a couple of turns building manpower. I don't actually think we need to do that. Our food to manpower conversion rate is such that we're totally fine now, without having to put any effort into it, which is my favorite way to be. My least favorite thing is putting effort into stuff. Alright, and the continuing development of exotic rations will keep that being the case. We really do want to finish Denark University. We're going to be considerably more effective in this system once this is finished. But man, that needs to get finished, because we have stuff to build. Lots and lots and lots of stuff. Okay. So my big concern, of course, is that this fleet coming in from here, the fleet that destroyed our fleet at Novarus, is just going to come over here to Galter. So we probably have to fall back. I can't command this. I'm trying to tell this fleet. Your plan is to move to here. Okay. Yeah, I think maybe we just fall back. We took Galter back, and now we're gonna just leave it there, and they can take it again, but it'll at least force them to stop. We better fall back and regroup. Okay, not ideal. Got some decent ships coming along at Akamar, at least. What on earth? Hold on, had I not told them to... What did they think I clicked on? Interesting. Yeah, I had definitely clicked over here. So it's going to take us 14 turns to get my fleet back. That's frustrating. Alright, let's boost up Akamar. Apparently the ships coming out of Akamar are the only ships. Sorry, I guess not. Rimor's doing alright too. Yeah, I don't know what happened here. This is, they are definitely responding to some orders that I did not give them. Okay, that event has ended. That's fine. I actually would have liked for the political ideology to be maintained for longer, but what are you going to do? Okay, somebody else managed to negotiate a truce with the Cravers. For the moment, that's fine with me. Yeah, try to make me some phantoms. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, that was what I was afraid of. Well, the ciphers are dead. It's fine, I guess. I mean... I do think it's a little strange that when they retreated from... Okay. When they retreated from the attack on Novarus, they fled this way instead of back to the system that we owned at the time. That they came from, but... What are you gonna do? How many turns are we? We're 3 turns off of liquid composites. We're gonna basically have to focus entirely on military for a while. Well, let's get some big data shipyards going. Wow, we are effective at building stuff here. We are going to need another bunch of phantoms, actually. So we're going to eat through this manpower pretty quickly, but it should replenish pretty quickly as well. Okay, we'll pop him out once these guys arrive, and we'll figure out what our fleet formation is going to look like. Well, that's not totally ideal. The way the duel worked out increases our pacifist political ideology shortly before the election time. Oshie is holding a fancy summit for industry leaders and politicians to mingle and talk business. So... well, I think we're doing this, probably. This will increase industrialist political ideology through the next election. Approval is not really a problem for us in most places. Yep, and Oshie is one of those places. This is just like free stuff, basically. Alright, what else do we want? You know, our approval, our expansion disapproval and stuff is not a big deal now. It could be eventually. Most of this stuff is just fleet effectiveness, although a percentage boost to dust output is actually pretty significant. That's a pretty bad skill to take early in the game, I think, but we're getting to the point where that really could matter a lot. Okay, well, we definitely need to make that. We also need to specialize all these planets. Okay. Well, the capital really should have built the big data shipyards first. And you know what, we may as well put this together. Yeah, and that. Alright, so we're well over the amount of influence necessary to change our government type. We certainly want to do that before the election. More than 5 turns before the election, probably, because I'd like to no longer be in anarchy when the election occurs. Yeah, you know what, let's just do it now. So it's going to cost us 600 of our influence. We'll lose some effectiveness on our laws, but we'll be able to keep the 2 parties that we want in our government in addition to the militarists, who we will probably never get out of here now. And a little bit of approval and a little bit more law, a little bit more laws, yeah. And extra law. I think this is a good way to go. Alright. Your empire has fallen into anarchy. Once 5 turns have passed, a government of type democracy will be established. In the meantime, your laws have been abolished, and you won't be able to vote in new ones. Yeah. Things could be worse. We weren't terribly reliant on any of the stuff we were running. It does mean a slight decrease in resource output from many of our systems. Oh, Oshie needs to be building stuff. Maybe like this stuff. Oh yeah, definitely. More influence. We're going to want to run a lot of very expensive laws all at once. Oh, pirates are killing the points of population that we're getting from exploring distant anomalies. Yeah, that's what happens when the pirates don't get dealt with. Okay, this is actually a significant amount of extra science here. I'm thinking that we may not need to keep building ships at quite this rate. Let's pop these out. Let's swap a couple of units around. We need to get our hero back. If this fleet's gonna just be out of commission forever, we need to get to a friendly system and then pop our hero back over here. So we're gonna rebuild stuff in a minute. There's 605 dust per turn coming in. Let's just spend a little bit of time grabbing some research here. This will give our fleet some time to fill as well. We generate a lot of ships very quickly. So we're producing a medium ship worth of manpower every turn. It's just that we were producing more than a medium ship worth of ship for a little while there every turn. Yes, I know. Our trade routes with the Lumeris trade companies are what are being blockaded. Okay. So we've got our large ship design. Let's figure some things out. First of all, we're going to need more weapons tech. You know, this actually might be a good game to go for some boarding pods. I'm just thinking that if we're going to be trying to extend our navy over a large swath of space, it might be helpful for us to employ some ships that I didn't have to spend the effort building. We're going to get hardened alloys first, because we need the command points to help re-overawe the Horatio. Alright. You guys can all merge up. And let's have a look at our ships. So are we still using roughly the best stuff we have available? Actually, the Spirit design is totally out of date and does not have our good beams. That aside, yeah, it looks like we're using the best stuff we have available. It's just not very good stuff, unfortunately. Oh, that's right. We have extra slots on these ships now. Unfortunately, mostly they're not very good extra slots. What do we want to put in this extra support slot? We don't really have a ton of options. And we could just make all of our ships good at sieging. That way we don't have to worry about bringing actual siege ships around. A little bit of an extra health bonus there. Okay. I'm assuming we can't afford to retrofit. Yeah. We're not as far off as I thought. Oh, we should also actually design this ship. So... hold on, let's strip everything out here real quick. So we have 3 squadron module slots. I would like to make use of them. 42 DPS as compared to like 61 if we went for fighters and bombers. Or 61 if we went for the improved torpedoes that we found. But actually, the fighters and bombers are, or the bombers specifically, are pretty competitive with everything else we have access to. And they're a little harder to deal with, it seems like. In particular, very, very good at fighting large ships. Yeah, and reasonably good at fighting mediums. The only things these aren't good at fighting are the things that I'm not afraid of, so that works out pretty well. Man, you know what we really need? We actually really need a couple of support ships that are just carrying those fleet extra movement modules. %15 repair after battle on a 27,000 health ship is actually pretty significant. Like, the 50 health bonus is completely negligible, but that repair is something else. Yeah, alright, let's do that. Alright, and that just leaves us with some defensive slots and, of course, the normal weapons. The one module where we put the normal weapons in. You know what? I'm going to go torpedoes on these guys. I know that we're mostly seeing the Horatio using hull plating, but that won't be the case forever. And this ship having a diversified set of offense and defense modules means we won't have to do really costly retrofits very often, because the retrofitting costs on the big ships can be very high. Alright. Oh, it turns out we can only make one of these because we need antimatter to build them. So that's going to be our big special flagship for the moment. See here, we're not actually at full approval anymore. Let's fix that. And you know, with us making that big ship and everything, we actually are going to need a lot of manpower. So why don't we spend a couple of turns actually, these are really weak here. Let's just do this. Let's spend a couple of turns building manpower. Make ourselves some combat robots. Wow. This is... Lasath is worth roughly 86 red sang and 11 dust. He really worked that out to a very precise value. A weirdly precise value. Oh. Clicking too fast, man. You totally have a singularity that needs to be running on Remor. Obviously, this pirate ship needs to get dealt with. I don't know why they even bother showing up.
Your actions and words do not bring solace to the heart. We have...
Okay, where... We saw one of their ships out here, right? Isn't that how we met them? I don't remember exactly where, unfortunately. Alright, so let's just shoot a couple of probes out here, see what we can see, and head down the lane we know about. They're finally trying to take Galter back. I wonder what took them so long. Okay, yeah, we're in... Blockaded. I know all about the blockades. We'll deal with this in a second. The Epistis are continuing to grow. 36 now. It's weird that they even show you the lost slots while you're in Anarchy. Well, crap. So this is obviously a loss for us. We can try to retreat, but no, we know this system is Horatio, because look, there's an influence bubble. Well, we'll deal with that in a second. So I'm going to pop this ship out and run. Nope, can't run. Yeah, the fleets are the system's defended, so we can at least retreat from the battle. We can run after taking a bunch of damage. Okay, and then, yeah, Galter, once again, there's no reason to fight. Nothing will happen if we attempt to fight. We are one turn away from being able to expand these fleets a little bit and then drive over here and show him what for in a brand new way. A brand new, much more effective way. So this would be 1,400 dust and 150 of each resource. Well, we could do that. It would make our infantry much more effective. And the fact that we've bothered to purchase all of these infantry upgrades also will make our boarding pods much more effective, because it's your infantry that do the actual boarding pod fighting. Alright, so over here, I think we are screwed. Pretty sure. We don't even get to split into 2 flotillas because we only have 4 command points. Well... yeah, retreating doesn't do anything. If we fight, that also doesn't do anything. The good news is, good news in quotation marks, is that that hero is now finally disconnected from that fleet. He's wounded, but it's pretty cheap to heal him up. Let's just go ahead and do that. Why can I not select my... Hold on a second here. Select the... There we go. Go ahead and snap him back in here. So our command point cap is going to go up to 10. We'll be able to jam a second spirit in here with the 4 phantoms, and then I think we're heading out. Let's focus on building ships with the new designs, the proper designs. All right, we've had a little bit of a setback here, but I think we're gonna be okay. In theory, now that the Cravers are no longer an issue, now that we're no longer at war with them and everything, our allies should be coming to our assistance over here, I think. I mean, I guess we'll see, right? Alright, so we've got our hardened alloys. I hope our allies are also hardened. We're going to need that. Okay, so we have a couple of good strong fleets here. Alright, our political survey is a little bit difficult to read. It's going to be an interesting election. We've discovered some benthic gems. Not really, I think, a very good luxury. I'm assuming we discovered those out here somewhere? Maybe not. Ah, okay. The Lumeris have discovered some benthic gems, is what they actually mean. Alright. So he's also up to 10 command points. He's still on energy weapons and projectile defenses, though. We should be able to take advantage of this, you would think. Alright, yeah, let's get boarding pods. I think we can do this. I think we can maybe finally make some progress here. So... this is our government coming back together. So I want to throw my support by... I mean, this is a good election here. I want the industrialists to be in charge if possible. But this is actually the government we were looking to build, at least based on the polling. Yeah, okay, it looks like it's coming together. Unfortunately, the ecologists have remained in the lead. That's awkward. Okay, we can probably do something about that. Make the system Akamar produce at least 25 industry... Oh, okay. So it tries to pick numbers that are slightly above the numbers that you're currently outputting. It's reading Akamar as making 0 because Akamar is currently translating all of its industry into manpower. So... we can certainly get another modest science increase. or to 108 food. Well, you know, we already actually have the buildings to make that happen. All right, we'll take the food version of this quest. So that ought to do it right there. Here's the plague ship that we've discovered. Yeah, that's an awkward forced law. So we did not get a huge amount out of this remnant boost, unfortunately. Let's figure out our laws. So, I do think we want to be running the Green Fertility Bill. It's a very good bill. The Beachhead bylaw does trigger, the approval from it does trigger when you complete an invasion. But I kind of think we want to go this way. We're going to be continuing to destroy ships. Hopefully. If we have anything to say about it. And then we could grab the Mineral Misers Act, or maybe go back to Scrap Kings. Probably Scrap Kings is the way to go here. Alright, but this is good. All three of these political parties will continue to gain political experience, which means we'll continue to unlock laws, and they all have some good stuff available to them. Especially at the higher end. My suspicion is that there's nothing out here, but let's try to check at least. Okay. Well, I'm very curious to see what it looks like when all of our ships show up at Galter. I'm assuming we will meet some kind of defensive Horatio force. Congratulations, you are now guarding Remor. Right, so we immediately did that and got Xenology, which is not a very good technology. Oh well. You know what they say about beggars and choosers? So we could set up an outpost on the Lekim system, which I was thinking about doing, and get strike plasma bombers, which are cool, but unfortunately made of the material that we don't really have access to. Or we could do this. Okay, well, I guess we'll take, we're not going to do whatever. We're not reaching some faraway system in 10 turns. I'm a little focused right now. So we'll just take the other quest, and we'll probably not do it, because we're not going to be able to take advantage of the thing we get out of it anyway. Alright, so we have all this extra influence. I think we may be reaching the end of what we can gain from this guy as a governor. Yeah, I mean, minus 40% upkeep cost is fine. It's not awesome. Do that. And over here, we're going to make the compression singularity that we're missing, and then probably a trade company HQ. We just need to keep building trade companies. Obviously, they'll be more effective if our empire is a little bit larger. Alright, so let's go straight for advanced boarding pods and also really, really big fleets. Lots and lots of extra command points. Okay, now we actually arrive. So he's got some ships here for sure. A truce was accepted on our behalf. Yeah, that's part of the downside of the alliance. We have given the AI some unilateral treaty-making abilities. Well, This really doesn't... I mean, like, 20 approval, 20 industry is such a small amount relative to our outputs. I'm just going to take the one that increases industrialist political ideology. We may yet be able to get the industrialists to be the leading party in the government in this election that is about to occur. Actually, I'm not even sure. Are we going to have an election in 3 turns? Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if having to form a new government meant that the elections would be held every 20 turns from that point, or if they would be the same as everybody else's. So we can no longer attack Horatio's ships, right?
We doubt you are worthy of our presence.
Yeah, not in
But
their territory.
Horatio greets you.
But we could just go back to war with them. We actually have a lot of influence. And the truce seems to have made them comfortable with moving that second fleet away. Yeah, you know what? I think we probably just go right back to war, right? Let's see here. We're still extremely ecstatic over here. At this point, this represents a considerable amount of food. Oh wow, we still have some basic stuff worth building here. Although, also, Riftborn. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and do public-private partnerships, but let's try to fill this system with Riftborn. We don't want to go too nuts on all the minor population units. Okay, you're back to ecstatic. So we now have the ability to build the Academy Embassy, which speeds the unlock of new heroes. It says it enables the unlock of new heroes. Obviously, that's misleadingly worded. Oh, you know what? We actually do really want the mining tech here, because this is where all of our Empire's Adamantium comes from. Things are going to be so much easier once we've actually made a little bit of forward progress on this war. So yeah, I think we're just going to redeclare.
It was bad enough greeting you.
Here's the thing. I think you may have received a diplomatic missive that was in error from one of my allies. It's not quite what we meant. It is, for some reason, not allowing me to select my fleet here. I can select Horatio's fleet here. I'd really like to, you know, attack. Alright, 5 turns until we can get even bigger with our fleets. Okay, I can select the fleet this way, which is strange, but it'll work. Alright, let's have at 'em. It says that we will lose slightly. That doesn't seem right to me. I think... Ooh, wow. All of a sudden, their medium ships are rated 1764. They must have gone up, I'm assuming, 3 or 4 tiers of weapons tech? to all of a sudden be at 1764. We do have more flotillas than they do. So I think we can reasonably assume they'll go 1 medium to each of the 2 flotillas they have access to. They want to be at long range now. They've transitioned entirely to torpedoes. So yeah, science from scrap I think is the way to go here. Kind of think we want to do this. This flotilla is just going to get torn apart by the torpedoes is my concern. Yeah. Alright, let's see if we can take them. Oh wow, they went everything middle, huh? Well, that's certainly interesting. This flotilla is in a lot of trouble. I'm assuming that they're going to be pursuing a tactic that has them at long range to start with. Yeah, this is gonna hurt. Jeez. Well, you can see we're getting our fire in from the other flotillas pretty quickly. And actually, these guys don't have a super great firing arc on the other medium ship. Well, it's a good thing we brought a second fleet, I guess. We're going to need to step up our weapon module game here. Alright, one medium down. Yeah, unfortunately for them, they're not really positioned very well for fighting the rest of my ships. Unfortunately for us, I'm not 100% sure that we're actually going to take this thing down before the battle ends. It's just too much time. Alright, getting a couple of misses over here, mercifully. Alright, I think we're okay. Alright, the hero ship, of course, is not actually destroyed. It will survive narrowly. Alright, that was a moderately expensive victory. Hopefully, it was, for them, a very expensive loss. Alright, so we're just going to grab 5 command points worth of ships from this fleet and merge it in here. Alright. Obviously, we take back the system with no problem. Let's just blitz them, because we have a massively superior force this time. Alright, we have the big ship coming in. 5 turns off of being able to make much more effective fleets. And this was not the level of forward progress that I was hoping for. I'd be lying if I said otherwise. So, I noticed we're looking positive on manpower. Did we actually get the big ship filled? No, not entirely. It has a huge amount of manpower on it, just not as much as it can hold, because they can hold a really, comically large amount. So that being the case, I think let's just do this. The system's not going to be good at producing stuff, really. Probably ever. Alright, let's go visit and say hello. Out of curiosity.
The unfallen seek only harmony, not to anger or offend.
You know, we could just keep building our big, huge coalition. If I hit this button, we'll be in control of 4 of the faction homeworlds. That's a big step toward our supremacy victory, and in fact, 5 is not very far off, right? Theoretically, I could get us to 6. I don't know. We'll consider it. I don't know that it's a good idea to dive right into the politics of a part of the galaxy that we know nothing about. But anyway, that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. We didn't quite make the progress that I was hoping to today, but I think things are going to turn around tomorrow, which I guess is what I said yesterday, but this time I mean it. So come back to see that, because it's definitely happening, for real. And we'll see you then.